So, what actually happens when you email me with a Somerset Council issue? Well, the first thing is I need to work out where you are in the process. Now, most of the time, residents have given me a background and a history of the issue in that initial email. But what I need is, have you already reported this to the council? Have you spoken to an officer? And how long has it been going on? And most importantly, do you have a reference number? Now, if you haven't reported it, I'd normally ask you to do that first through the Somerset Council website, or you can ring their number. Now, there's a really simple reason for this. A reference number means I can go directly to the officer and say, can you help me with this case? Now, without it, I'm asking an officer to search through all their casework, trying to identify your concern. And I'd much rather they spend that time actually dealing with the issue rather than looking for it. I also need to check where you live, because if you're in another councillor's division, I'll copy in the other councillor and hand it over to them. We have an unwritten rule that we don't tread on each other's toes when it comes to casework. I then log your case in my project management tool and find the relevant officer and ask for an update. So I keep my casework organized in different communities, and there are specific sections for villages, but also for general issues that affect the whole of Frome. And finally, I'll tell you when I can realistically get back to you. And I put a reminder in my system to follow it up so that I remind myself not to forget your concern. I will also tell residents that if they haven't heard from me, to please give me a nudge within a certain time frame. You know, we deal with a lot of casework, and I'd much rather have a reminder from you than have you slip through the net. So if you're emailing me about a council issue, the really useful thing to include is where you live, what's happened so far, who you've already contacted, and your council reference number if you have one. And that helps me get onto it much more quickly.